getting to precipitation testing. Francis, what have you done? How's that gone?
The way I get most of my data, in fact, I should say the preponderance, 90% of it, there's a little bit from natural observation, but 90% of it comes from testing snow water and rainwater. And I get it as soon as possible after it falls. And it varies also a little bit on whether you get it right in the first wave of precipitation that comes over for a front, and there's always more in the first wave than in the end of a front when it's coming through. It's a 5-day storm. It's always a lot more on day 1 than there is on day 5.
A lot more contamination.
Yeah, a lot more contamination.
Okay.
Like in a first wave that came through one time here, we measured the snow, and the snow was 61,000 parts per billion. That's micrograms per liter of aluminum. Now, that makes your hair stand on end when it's that much.
Put that into context for us. That how high above what we should expect is that? We know we should probably be less than 1 ppb. We're 61,000. Put that into context, if you would.
Okay, normal is 0, and you're getting 61,000. Normal would be 0, or maybe to allow for, say, some people will say it's contaminated. Well, a contamination rate would be like 1 part per billion, which is a heck of a lot different from 61,000 parts per billion. Even the soil is not that high. There's more aluminum in the precipitation coming down than there is in the soil. That's very scary. And then, of course, in the rain, it varies depending on whether it's the start of a front or the end of a front, and that varies again from in the tens of thousands to a couple hundreds, and occasionally you'll get something that's less than 100, but it's almost always in the thousands.
Of parts per billion.
Parts per billion or micrograms per liter.
And for these, again, that we should really ideally expect nothing, not even 1 ppb, and we're talking about hundreds or thousands of parts per billion. Would you not? We would have to consider that highly toxic snow and rain as far as human consumption.
The federal government has a toxic limit of 50 parts per billion or micrograms per liter of aluminum, and we're talking, 50 is the limit for federal, and we're talking local people that are drinking rainwater that's doing thousands. But when it starts going into the thousands, like we're getting in rain and snow water now, and I'm not talking just Mount Shasta, I'm talking all over the United States, you're getting in the thousands.
Of parts per billion.
Parts per billion, micrograms per liter.
Reminding people that.
It's just astounding.